Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. The question is asking here about wiping over the imama and also the khimar. Now we studied this in class, but the question here is, what if there is no difficulty involved? Can you still wipe over it? Now we have narrations from the Messenger of Allah on authority Bilal that the Messenger of Allah wiped over his khimar. This is Sahih Muslim. Men don't wear khimar. Therefore, Imam al-Nawawi is saying here that the khimar here refers to imama. We also have the hadith of Salama where the Messenger of Allah permitted for her to wipe over her khimar. So these are the evidences, like we said, we've covered that in class. But what are the conditions? The ulama who have permitted it have said that there are two conditions. Number one, that the khimar and the imama covers the whole head completely. And number two, that there is difficulty involved in taking it off. Such as a woman, if she takes it off, she's going to expose her aura. The man is going to take it off, he's going to feel cold, or he could expose himself to something harmful, etc. So these are the two conditions, and this is what Ibn Uthaymeen instills as well. This is the opinion of the Hanabila and others from the Madhahib. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said, even if there is no difficulty involved, then you can wipe over it. And he gives three reasons. Number one, due to the generality of the hadith. The Messenger of Allah did it, therefore we do it. Number two, he says, by taking it off is actually a difficulty in itself. So if she's wearing her khimar, right, even if there's no difficulty, she's got an option to take it off or not to take it off. She's wearing the khimar and she wants to keep the khimar on, then taking it off becomes difficult. He's got an imama on, then taking the imama off then becomes difficult. Same thing with socks, really. If you think about socks example, it's probably better for us. You've got socks on, you're in the wudu area. Do you wipe or do you wash? Taking off the socks is not an issue, really. You can wash your feet. In certain given circumstances, obviously wiping is convenient, and you can take that concession. However, sometimes you might find yourself in a situation where you could take it off or not. What do you do in that scenario? Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah is basically saying here, by telling this person to take off the socks makes it long for him. There's difficulty. So that's another argument. And the third argument that he makes is, when you take off the imama and the khimar, you have to reset it, and that becomes difficult as well. And then he actually adds another one, which is where he basically says, when you take off the imama and the khimar, you then become exposed to the elements, and then that could cause sweating and all these other things perhaps that you probably didn't envisage in the first place as being a difficulty, but then difficulties could arise, not only because of the imama itself, but because of external factors. So Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, for me, his argument seems very sound if you think about it, but I would say, if you're wearing an imam, if you're wearing a khimar, stick to these two conditions, and this one Ibn Taymiyyah also says is safer, because of the fact that this is what the evidences seem to suggest, and by leaving it on, there isn't anything to suggest that you should leave it on, and obviously you have to exercise caution when it comes to tahara and all acts of worship. So Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah says it is better that you leave it on, although Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah has said even if there is no difficulty, you don't have to remove it. And the qiyas that he makes with socks is very strong for me, but especially when it comes to headgear, you should take it off. When it comes to socks, etc., we've done that before, socks and shoes, etc., a person can wipe over them, and the same arguments really. Taking it off makes it long, taking them off could cause more hardships, etc. Hopefully this answers the question. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us tawfiq and success. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina.